All right, I am back with a brand new movie review. And what could it be? Well, I think everybody knows at this point. It is Shazam! Fury of the Gods! All right, so let's talk about this film. I will tell you, it is utterly bizarre to go into a movie knowing that it is completely irrelevant. It's the last time we're going to see these characters, and that everything is changing. It's just weird. It does ruin any enthusiasm you might have for the movie overall. And it was kind of somber going in, I was not excited at all. And so let's talk about the film, and I'm going to stay spoiler-free until the end. So if you want to know about spoilers, stick around until the end, and I will do some spoilers. I'm going to talk about some stuff. First of all, if you are expecting to go into this movie and seeing a sequel to the end credit scene of the first film, not happening. Not happening. Not happening. This is a completely new story. Has nothing to do with the comic books. And I will tell you, first off, that this was a missed opportunity. You just had the Black Adam movie. Would have been great to introduce him in this film. That would have been stellar. But the studio execs have other ideas. And I will tell you that the reason they decided to go with this original storyline was to get Lucy Liu in there so they could make money overseas in China. It's all about identity politics with the studios, and it's no different with this film. And it's unfortunate. Lucy Liu was great in the film. Helen Mirren was great in the film. You have, I don't want to forget anybody's name here. You had Rachel Zegler. She was in it. She was one of the sisters, which was, they were all fantastic as the villains. The opening sequence in this film is pretty freaking cool. I have to admit. It was fun to watch the family actually work together. And it was fun to watch. But it's really the only time you get to see the family work together. There are plenty of them hanging out throughout the film, the middle part of the film, while they're building the storyline, but it's not as superheroes. And I will tell you that the storyline really wasn't that good. It was a run-of-the-mill, just a ho-hum storyline. Watching this film, it wasn't real exciting. Not real exciting at all. I will tell you that the Wizard had more screen time in this film, which was cool. I did enjoy his parts. He got to work with one of the boys quite a bit, so he ended up working with Jack Dylan Grazer's character, Freddie Freeman, quite a bit in the film, which was pretty cool. Here's what I really liked about the film. Everybody, their adult forms, they acted just like they did in the child's form, especially Jack Dylan Grazer. Like, when you see Adam Brody as him, it's like it's a 1-in-1 match. Like, it's perfect. You could totally see that it's them. The other characters were the same way, not quite as closely as Adam Brody and, Jack Dylan Grazer, but it was still good. The one that was off by a lot was Zachary Levi. He was goofier as an adult than he was as a teenager, which was kind of jarring and weird when you're watching it because he overacts when he's Shazam. It's a little off-putting. The storyline is nothing amazing. It's serviceable for what they're doing in the film, but it's not something you're going to remember, a year down the line. You'll forget what the storyline was about. I found the whole middle part of the film, I found the beginning to be good, the middle part to be blah, and the ending was good. The music was serviceable. The special effects were really well done. I was shocked to find out that this film was made for $100 million. For the special effects, they did a great job and got a lot out of that $100 million. But at the end of the day, I'm going to talk about my score on this, and then I'm going to talk about the post-credit scene and some of the spoilers here, okay? So this film was definitely sillier than the first one. My wife mentioned this. She felt like this was more of a movie for preteens and young teens, not adults. And I would have to agree with her. With some of the story elements and some of the stuff they did, it was definitely goofier than the first, and not in a good way. It was just sillier. It wasn't as... I really enjoyed the first film quite a bit. I thought it was fun. It was neat to see, but this film kind of wears thin with some of that stuff. And it just wasn't as good in my eyes. So at the end of the day, I gave this film 3 out of 5 stars. It's a good movie, but it's not a great movie. It is something you should see on a big screen. Like the special effects, especially some of the bass and some of the special effects. Like, yeah, it's good to see in a big theater, but you won't be able to recreate it at home. But that's the score I give it at the end of the day. So 3 out of 5 stars. If you don't want any spoilers, now's the time to drop off. So let's address the whole Wonder Woman thing. Yes, there was somebody else who played Wonder Woman. There's a scene in this film, freaking hilarious. It was the funniest scene in the whole film. Had to do with this fake Wonder Woman. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But this fake Wonder Woman, yeah, it's pretty funny. And you'll laugh quite a bit throughout the scene. It's pretty funny. So that was really well done. Let's talk about the Wonder Woman cameo towards the end of the film. When they introduce her, freaking awesome. I'm not going to lie. It was the first time it gave me a little bit of chills. It was really cool when they introduced her at the end. But then it got a little weird because you could tell she wasn't there. They filmed that scene without Gal Gadot there. I'm telling you, the way the lighting was and the way it looked, she was not there with any of those actors. I can guarantee you she was not on the set with them. She was not there. It was filmed later in post, not with them there in that scene, which was it was sad. Anytime you saw her with them, it was like an overhead shot or something else. And then when you saw her face to face, you could totally tell it was filmed like on a soundstage somewhere, not on the set that they were on. Really bizarre. So let's talk about these 2 post-credit scenes. And this is where my real fear comes in. First of all, I think all of this is irrelevant. The first post-credit scene was the most over-the-top ridiculous thing with Zachary Levi. You know, it's where he gets that you've been seeing in the previews where he's going choo 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 choo, you know, at glasses and stuff. You get the 2 individuals from Peacemaker and, you know, Amanda Waller's group to come in and invite him to come to the Justice Society. And he has an issue with that. Over-the-top acting, ridiculous, silly. I wouldn't be surprised if that whole post-credit scene wasn't directed by James Gunn himself. Now, there have been spoilers going around Twitter about this scene, and somebody actually posted it. I made comments about this on Twitter, and I can't even keep up with Twitter. Like, the amount of comments that come through there and the amount of hateful people on there is just freaking unbelievable. But that post-credit scene is ridiculous, and I wouldn't be surprised if Gunn directed it himself because it was very much in line with Peacemaker and with some of the crap he's done, you know, with Suicide Squad. It was just inappropriate. It was totally out of left field for the feel of the rest of the movie, okay? The second post-credit scene is Dr. Savant again. And he's still waiting. And it was basically the same. It was basically the same thing that happened in the first one where the worm tells him something's going to happen, but doesn't tell him what, and then leaves again. And I was like, it's all pointless anyway. Like, why? What does it matter? That's the biggest problem with this film is it's not going to lead anywhere. Like, it's really sad what the studio is doing. It really is. It's disappointing as a DC fan. I don't have a whole lot of hope for the future. Like, they're going to have to, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens when Superman comes out. But I will tell you that the Flash trailer played at the beginning of Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and nobody cared. Not a single person made a noise. And I was in the biggest theater in Arizona. First of all, it wasn't full, which doesn't bode well because these Thursday, early showings always sell out. You can't get tickets, but there were plenty of seats. So this movie's not going to make very much money, and nobody's going to want to go back and see it again. It's terrible. It's terrible in that regard. I just don't understand what the studio's doing, and I'm going to be going into The Flash the same way. And tomorrow I'll do another YouTube video talking about some comments that Ben Affleck made today in regards to his screen time on The Flash and everything. So you're going to want to stick to my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that notification bell. And I'll be doing another video tomorrow in regards to that. But, yeah, I'm now losing my enthusiasm to go see The Flash. And I have no desire now to see Blue Beetle. And, Aquaman is totally off my radar. I am going to be seeing these films once. I won't be going back to see Shazam. I saw the first Shazam 3 or 4 times. I won't be going back to see this one. Like, they've lost my money. It's sad. It's just sad. It's like you're going in watching the death, knowing that everything's going to be gone and done. It's terrible in that regard. But anyway, if you guys have seen it, what did you think? I'll be back tomorrow with some more DC news. I do appreciate the support, and we will see you on the next video.